Sales Director and Country General Manager at VAC Magnetic India Pvt Limited, has spent nearly 2 decades. Abhishek G Nagarkar.
Even if you lose, you are in the bad books. If you win, you are in the good books. So you are in the black and white area of the management.
New challenges in the beginning of your journey can totally set you up for a long and successful journey ahead. I think that's a perfect example of that.
You will get business one time, two times, but multiple times the business will happen only based on trust.
Hello everyone and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. I am Tanay Hall and today we are diving into a world that doesn't just drive growth, it creates it. The world of new business development, market expansion and sales leadership that shapes everything from telecom and data centers to renewable energy and high-tech manufacturing. Most people think sales is about targets and spreadsheets, but the truth is behind every market breakthrough, every major account win, every expansion into a new sector, there's a leader who sees possibilities before anyone else does. And our guest today is exactly that kind of leader. Mr. Abhishek G Nagarkar, Sales Director and Country General Manager at VAC Magnetic India Pvt Limited, has spent nearly 2 decades crafting some of the most remarkable business expansion stories across India. From his early days at Emerson, Schneider Electric and L&T Electrical and Automation to building new categories at Vertiv and now steering the India business for a global technology powerhouse, he has consistently proven one thing. Growth doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design. So whether it was opening opportunities that had been shut for a decade, building entire new business lines from ground up, or leading teams through markets that shift by the minute, Mr. Nagarkar's journey is a masterclass in perseverance, intuition, and strategic leadership. And today he is here with us, ready to peel back the curtain on the world he knows best, a world where markets are built, not found. Mr. Nagarkar, welcome to FaceTime with Leaders with us today. How are you?
I'm good, Tada. Thank you. Thanks for welcoming me.
So, you've spent almost 2 decades building new markets, bringing into accounts that were shut for over a decade, championing data center growth, driving telecom and infrastructure expansion, and today leading the India business for a global technology organization. But sir, if you could take us back a bit, maybe to the early days and share in your own words how your journey began.
See, I'll start in the early days with Emerson. One episode I remember very crisp and clear. That was meeting my vice president, Mr. Badwal, at that time. Okay, and I was included into an enterprise business unit. However, I wanted to shift to telecom business unit because in 2008, 2006, 6 to 8, you can see it was a telecom boom period. And because my background is from electronics engineering, I wanted to shift to telecom business instead of going into enterprise. Okay. And I was standing outside Mr. Wadwa's office, and I knocked on the door, and he said, "Yes, what is the issue?" Because I was new to the organization, I didn't know how to speak with him. But I said, "Sir, I wanted to join the telecom business unit. What should I do? What can I do?" So then he gave me 1 month's time, and he said, "Ki, I want you to present me the entire landmark of this entire business, how telecom is growing, what opportunities we as the Emerson can have." And then with that background, I started my work trying to make a presentation for him. And after a month or so, I did happen to give a good presentation, I would say. And that's how I was included in the telecom team, which was small, but I would say it was kind of a high flyer kind of a job in Emerson at those times, because they used to handle around 40-45% of business, and the team size was very small, and the team was known to everyone inside the Emerson because of that contribution they used to bring to the bottom line, to the top line. And that's how the journey started with telecom, and then later data centers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, new challenges in the beginning of your journey can totally set you up for a long and successful journey ahead. I think that's a perfect example of that.
Yeah, it makes sense because it was something you were swimming against the tide,
Yeah.
right? So I was moving against the traffic, and everybody was saying, "Ki, why you want to get into that business, which is a big short deal, okay?" Because telecom at those days was very you don't used to sell one or two boxes. It was in thousands of boxes which the
Wow.
telecom companies or the telecom infra companies used to buy, and the deal used to be highlighted in your management calls. Okay, so even if you lose, you are in the bad books. If you win, you are in the good books. So
Yeah.
you are in the black and white area of the management. So that was the, I would say, the area which I wanted to present in that moment of time. And telecom business gave me that opportunity in my life. Yeah.
Lovely, sir. So, one of the most striking patterns in your career is how consistently you've managed to break into markets and accounts that had been closed for nearly a decade. When you walk into a boardroom that has said no business for 10 years, we would love to know what's your mindset. Like, how do you approach a customer who has already decided what they want, who they trust, who they buy from, and what does it actually take to shift the narrative from resistance to opportunity?
See, I would start that the early learning was from Emerson, because at that time we were interacting with a lot of telecom and telecom infra companies. And if you go in north, you will have one company which will only buy certain X products. Okay, there you will not get entry. If you go to South, at that time there were 12 operators coming in picture. Okay, now we have only two or three at the most, but at that time it was 12 operators who were fighting for India space. Okay, and everybody had the expansion plans, and every region would love to have their own or nearby customer. I would say vendor to support them. So getting in those, so the learning was right from Emerson. Later on in my life, it was because of Schneider, because of L&D. I could try the same wisdom, I could try the same strategy with their customers. When I was with, I would say, it was Schneider, I was involved with telecom clients, okay. But then the telecom customer like DTL Infra, they were not buying Schneider products. Okay, they used to build sites, and there they were hesitant to get into Schneider business, or they want to give any order, because the sites were just a duplicate of one side the other. Okay, so they don't want to change everything else. And there I remember that I could able to enter myself. I could discuss with the VP of HR, VP Telecom Infra in GTL Infra, and I could get a big chunk of order for I think 2009 2010. So that was a big breakthrough. That in L&T, Cipla, Asian Paints, these two customers I do remember that they were not buying L&T product, and we used to sell standard products like the ACB, MCB, RCCBs and all. Okay, so at that time, Cipla and like you say, Cipla doesn't want to change. They just want to replicate their plants wherever they were expanding at that time, 2013 to 2014. Same happened with Asian Paints. I remember they expanded in Haryana side, okay, and they don't want to change. But then, yes, because Emerson taught me, and since I was talking to CXO level personalities in my earlier profile, I could get the opportunity to discuss with the project leads. And but I started with talking to the lower rung, I would say the maintenance guys, and building the blocks step by step. I could able to get those orders. I could break even the orders which was lost for 10 years. There was no part in that. Yeah.
Lovely. That is actually a major achievement because it takes, I'm sure, small baby steps to slowly change them into, working with you.
Yes, baby steps, yes. When you interact with the maintenance guy, he
Yeah.
will open the entire book. Okay,
Okay.
because the higher managers will not share what troubles them. Okay, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
maintenance guy will tell, okay, this product troubles me. I don't get service on time. So from those learnings, I could able to discuss with the senior guys, and that's why I could open up the accounts.
Yeah, yeah, very true. So another major theme in your journey is the way you've built entirely new business lines from scratch, whether it was launching the data center initiative at L&T or scaling the solar inverter business at Vertiv through both direct and channel strategies. So when you're building something that doesn't exist yet, no established demand, no previous numbers, no reference points, how do you convince internal teams, channel partners and customers to believe in a new market before, the market even believes in itself?
See, I would give some credit to my bosses in L&D, okay, because yes, they were new to this segment, but they were very much, I would say, that they were doing the business properly, but not in this segment. Okay, and data center was something new, and they gave me the opportunity to present my case in front of senior team. Okay, and there I was able to prepare the complete document which will give basic idea to what I am trying to present. So one document I presented to my senior management that gave them the idea what is data center and how you want to pitch yours. Because I remember L&T, we used to sell only products. By data center entering to data center segment, I tried to sell the solutions. Okay, and L&T at that time was having multiple businesses. Whether you build a building, you build the infrastructure in terms of your MVP side, or you do the software side. But it was isolated at that time. Okay, but then pitching the solution business to my management, that actually helped me a lot but to convince it to them, and that's how we started that segment in L&D. Coming to Vertiv, so Vertiv solar inverters were introduced quite later because we were very much into the telecom power units or the critical cooling and power systems. Okay, and solar, yes, it was a booming segment at that time, and lot of Chinese inverter manufacturers were in the market. And what you thought that maybe let's move in this market because the market demand is very high. And then the entire thing started with lot of grinding in process, talking to the channel partners, talking to the bosses, to your managers, to your service guys, because starting a new business requires complete value chain. It will not happen because the services is a critical part in this all this segment. Okay, and luckily I was helped by all those who were in that ecosystem, whether it's a service manager or the channel partner or the installer. So everybody pitched in, and that's how we could able to open those segments in that those markets. Yeah.
Very true. I mean, but it was lovely that your bosses actually gave into, like you said, a new, complete new ideation because a lot of time that does not happen. But when
Yes.
the company is so open with these things, it just helps, them to grow.
But one thing I want to tell you,
Yes.
yes, bosses are ready to give it, but then you have to catch it.
Yeah.
If you are not able to catch it, if you don't know how to catch it or how to pitch yourself,
Yeah.
then sorry, nobody is going to help you. In corporate world,
Yeah.
they help you only the person who helps himself. So
Yeah.
you have to first help yourself, and then you can ask for the help which you want to do. Because both markets were there. I had little bit background, but then I had to prepare myself to pitch
Yeah.
in front of management, and that's how the journey began.
Very true. The roots and background need to be firm first so that,
Yes.
then you can go ahead. Yeah. So, something that stands out throughout your career is your ability to handle roles that combine sales, operations, P&L, legal coordination, audit, forecasting, and global alignment all at once. In such a fast-moving environment where a single miscommunication can affect revenue, customer trust, or supply chain reliability, how do you ensure that people don't just chase sales but uphold discipline, process, and long-term trust?
See, I will tell you one thing that till 2014, 16, I was more of an operational guy, but having slight roles playing regarding P&L budgeting and all. But after 2017, that responsibility came to me in my current profile. Okay. And since I was the only person who was responsible for this region, and they wanted, because my HQ doesn't understand the local laws, or I would say yes, they have the basic background, but the legal matters are not that accustomed to them. Okay, they have more of a European thought process, whereas India follows the British law process, the English law, and that is the difference. What Europe and England doesn't have too much. Okay, and during this 2017 till date, I got the opportunity to bridge the gap, because, as like you said, I was with the auditing team, with the legal team. So I was a mediator who was trying to explain what is required at my end and what you have to do it at your end. So that gave me exposures, and while discussing with the experts in the market, that also gave me learning how to deal on that particular topic and convey to my management.
Very well said. Okay, sir, now it's time for a little bit of fun. This is our very own rapid fire round. So, all I request you are some quick answers to our questions. So, are you ready?
Yeah, please. Hopefully, I will be able to answer your rapid fires.
Yeah, you will be, sir. They are very easy. Sir, so here we go. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
The very first thing is I fold my sheets.
Lovely. Your comfort food after a long day of travel or meetings.
Yeah, it's khichdi.
Okay. One hobby that instantly relaxes you.
There are multiple, but one that makes me very happy is cooking and making others eat.
Lovely. A movie you watched way too many times but still love.
Can I answer two,
Yeah,
Hindi
yeah.
and English? Yeah.
Please, please.
Okay. So in English, I watched Godfather when I was in college multiple times, and in Hindi, I watched Anand. Okay, because yeah, both the movies give a lot of lessons to be learned and can be implemented in their life.
Yeah. The one app you absolutely can't live without.
I'm still waiting for the rap. I don't have. Yeah.
Lovely.
Although I'm technology savvy, right? Okay, I custom myself, but I am not. I would say or pertaining to particular app, I want to get into it. So I use all the apps, but not any specific. Yes,
Your favorite place to travel when you want a complete reset.
it's a seashore.
Okay. A song that never fails to lift your mood.
It's an old black and white song by Devanand. हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. So
Lovely.
that is the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Your all-time favorite sports person or team.
There are multiple, but cricket of late, yes, and that too MSD's team, which won the World Cup for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One thing on your bucket list that you still want to tick off.
Yes, I want to travel with my son to Leh and Ladakh in my own car. Yeah.
Lovely. Finally, if your life had a title, what would it be?
This too shall pass.
Amazing, sir. Great, sir. That was a rapid fire round. I think you were lovely. Now back to our slightly more serious questions.
Thank you.
Sir, every industry has its wake-up calls. We've all seen moments when aggressive growth overshadowed governance, when shortcuts damaged reputations, and when companies had to rebuild trust from scratch. When you look at some of those episodes, whether it's global sales scandals, regional compliance lapses, or even moments where customer trust was shaken, what have these moments taught you personally about ethics, transparency, and doing the right thing even when no one is watching?
Yes, this is very important question. But I do remember 2009 when Satyam fiasco came. Okay, and then during that phase, one of my friend, she was working with Satyam. Okay, she was highly paid in that profile. She joined as the HR after MBA, and then after a couple of years, this Satyam fiasco happened, and everybody was very much like we don't know what to do, and we were young at those times, and we didn't know what to do, what will happen next. And later on we realized that because of everybody was in partner with Mr. Raju, for inflating the books, the entire fiasco came in. So this was the first lesson which actually gave it apart from books. Otherwise, in MBA, you are told about certain case studies, but actual was with the Satyam fiasco which we had seen live. And secondly, talking about the commitments to your customers, the trust. Yes, it's very important because my first philosophy is you will get business one time, two time, but multiple time the business will happen only based on trust and how you deal people with people. Okay, if you treat them properly, the business will happen. If you don't treat, it will be one or two cases. After that, it will die up. Okay, so that is a learning art.
Very well said, sir. So, you've recently been associated with Directors Institute, which is shaping modern governance and boardroom readiness. We would love to know what drew you to the institute in the first place, and now that you've been a part of it, how has that experience influenced the way you view leadership, governance, and decision making at the boardroom level?
See, there are two aspects to this particular question. One is the operational part, which I had done experience in my before 2017. Okay, and after 2017, I would say, pushed in this role because being a general manager of the country for this organization, everybody was watching you, and sometimes you have those tools to handle situation, and sometimes you don't have. Okay, so to get those tools and tackle to handle situation, I got associated, or I would say I wanted to learn this particular business game, and I joined a Writers Institute. And so far, so good. The experience is very nice.
Lovely, sir. Thank you so much for those kind words and for this inspiring conversation. What stood out for me today is how you've shown that business development isn't just about numbers or targets. It's about trust, discipline, and the courage to build markets when none exists. So, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your insights with us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us on FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. Thank you.
Most welcome. To everyone listening, I hope today's episode didn't just give you insights into the world of sales and market expansion, but also a wider perspective that success isn't about chasing the next opportunity. It's about building trust, creating value, and leading with intention. I'm Taneol, and until next time, stay curious, keep learning, lead with integrity, and of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.